much for coming tonight. My name is Nicole and I use she, her pronouns. Thank you. We love pronouns in this room. Love it. Clap for pronouns, always. In 2014, a group of researchers in England determined that the song Wannabe by the Spice Girls was the catchiest song of all time. That's true. And you know how I know that's true? Because it took me 15 seconds to Google. We are extremely fortunate to be living in an age where so much information, critical information, like what I just shared with you, is right at our fingertips. With the push of a button, we are instantly connected to resources and studies that expand our own understanding. Learning and growing have never been easier. All we have to do is look for it. That's how I know when it comes to bigotry, education is not our problem. I have been fighting this fight for my entire life. When I started my transition in first grade, there was next to no information available regarding trans youth. People couldn't wrap their heads around the idea that a 5-year-old might possibly have some semblance of an idea about who they are. They could not fathom that a child might understand the cosmic complexities of identity. But over time, young trans people like myself, Jazz, and Kai have shown the world, what it means to be a transgender kid. We have shown that we exist, we know who we are, and in many cases, we know more than the adults do. Now, I am obviously not a kid anymore. And because I was giving the affirming care and support that I needed, I was able to grow up and follow my dreams, wait for it, playing Dreamer, the first transgender superhero on television. Thank you very much. And now I'm working as a writer with DC Comics to ensure that her legacy continues. Thank you. Thank you. Superman, son of Kal-El, July 12th. Thank you. However, the landscape for transgender rights has stayed the same. And actually, I would say that it's even gotten worse. We are seeing a record-breaking number of anti-LGBTQ and especially anti-trans legislation being put forward in states like Arkansas, Texas, South Dakota, Idaho, and everybody's favorite, Florida. Give it up for Florida. Lots of Florida shout-outs tonight. Yeah. People know what it means to be transgender now. People are aware of the experience. And thanks to organizations like the Human Rights Campaign and the work done by everybody in this room, resources exist to help people understand that even further. People know that gender-affirming care saves lives. We know that transgender kids are not being groomed by their parents. And we know that allowing a trans girl to play soccer doesn't give her team a game-breaking advantage because we know she's a 4th grader and not the goddamn Winter Soldier. I know, that was such a straight reference. I'm sorry. Education is not our problem. Our problem is that despite the objections of leading scientists and medical experts, despite the heartfelt testimonials of kids and parents who are actually going through this, lawmakers are still inclined to pass this harmful legislation targeted at children that doesn't have an ounce of truth behind it. Why is that allowed? With all of the resources that are available, with all of the first-person accounts of the trans experience, why are laws still being introduced that are rooted in lies? Why are news outlets able to spread lies about transgender people, stirring up hatred when they know what they're saying is not true? Why are lawmakers able to target children with laws that, by all accounts from anyone with any relevant experience, greatly increases the chances of self-harm? Because there is nothing stopping them. These lawmakers and these news anchors and these lobbyists are not uneducated. They simply don't care. And it is precisely because of that that we will never see the lasting change that we are fighting for until we change the rules of the game. Our opponent does not deal in the currency of truth, so we cannot overcome them with education alone. We need legislation. We need to change the rules of the system. If lawmakers are going to introduce bills that target an entire group of people, I don't think it's a very radical thought that those bills should be supported by at least one Google search. They should not be able to legally introduce bills based on lies. News outlets should not be able to spread whatever hateful dribble they want and pass it off as fact. With their power and their platform, they need to be held responsible for what they are doing. They need to be held accountable. We have to cut this darkness off at the knees. We have to take away the ability to force this kind of bogus legislation through. And most importantly, we need federal legislation. We need the Equality Act, ensuring human rights for everyone, point blank. Certain laws may vary from state to state, but human rights cannot be one of them. Your quality of life should not be made or broken simply because of the state you were born in. We need to be able to trust our news sources to give us accurate information, not trying to pit us against one another. We need officials who represent us. We need every vote to actually count so that we can elect legislators who do represent us, who do speak for us. And I can't believe I have to say this, but don't use their power to attack children. What I'm asking for, while sounding insanely basic in theory, is hard. If it wasn't, we'd be done by now. But we are never going to see the lasting change that we need until we change the way that this system operates. And we can't do that without your support. Give what you can financially, obviously, because this is a gala and we all know why we're here. But also with your voice and with your time. They don't want us to be able to vote them out, so help people get to the polls during election season. Media outlets aren't willing to share what's happening to our community, so spread what's happening in your own social circles. Make people aware of these attacks. It is going to take every single one of us to secure our future. We have made tremendous progress, but we have lost a lot of ground. But the good news about losing ground is that we know that there is ground that can be made up. I know the change we are fighting for is possible. They wouldn't be trying so hard to suppress our votes and gut our rights if it wasn't. I am tired and I am angry. And I know all of you are too. So let's just kick it into high gear, give what we can, and finish this so we can all fucking lie down.